And from Tempe's Taste the Tops, it's George Lindblom with DrinkinAZ. How you doing today? And Phil is out of town. He's actually in China doing some business. And I'm here tonight with our technical director, Adam Wallace. Adam, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
You
can hear me, but
I got the big thumbs up from Adam over there behind the board. We're rolling. Okay, so for the past few weeks, things have been pretty exciting. We've launched the site, DrinkinAZ.com. We brought on Adam Wallace as our technical director. And we have made an appearance at the Arizona Strong Beer Festival. At the Strong Beer Festival, we had Matt and Greg from the Beer Research Institute sat down with Phil and I and had an interview. And Rob Buford from Arizona Wilderness popped in for a moment, and that's like rock star status with the big beard and the Duck Dynasty beard. Rick Birch, the bassist of Jimmy Eat World, and John Miller, his partner over at Caskworks, they sat down with us and chatted for a while about their upcoming venture with Caskworks, and it was pretty awesome. So as far as favorite moments of Arizona Beer Week go, I'd say my big moments had to be the Strong Beer Festival and walking around the Sea of Humanity, watching these two ladies try to get on their bikes and go home after the festival when they were too drunk to walk, let alone ride a bike. That was pretty funny. Getting hooked up with our new producer / technical director. We got Duncan involved in our marketing staff, and things have been going really well, and we're moving in the right direction. And tonight we have for our guest, Felipe Valdivia. Can you hear me, Felipe?
I can hear you a little bit.
Okay.
Now I can hear you better.
All right. So Felipe is a wine guy, and that's going to be part of our focus here at DrinkinAZ. We're not all about beer. We're also about wine, and we're about spirits as well. And so, Felipe, tell us a little bit about your background in wine and why you're so passionate about wine.
Well, thank you very much. Basically, I'm from Chile. I developed my radio show back in Santiago.
Okay.
Called The Wine O'Clock. And we used to talk about wine. And wine, at least in my family, we always been drinking with wine in dinners or lunch.
So culturally, is wine in Chile, is that similar to like what I've seen with France and in Italy, where you kind of brought up young drinking and learn how to drink responsibly and so forth with it?
Correct. It's very European focused in terms that the legal age to drink in South America mainly is about 18 years old. So you have that as a background. And on the top of that, depending on the families, they always have a bottle of wine or something to drink all the time. And it's just, it's very interesting about like how that is transferred to the kids, and, you know, they start drinking responsible.
Right.
But, you know, they always, sometimes you like...
every now and then you do
have
your
like
deal.
some problems. Yeah, we have that kind of...
We're all human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are things about the wine industry? I was used to a lot of wine tours down in Chile in some wineries. So I'm kind of familiar with the industry, what's going on, and and I surprisingly, it was very, very nice and surprised that Arizona have a really interesting wine industry, kind of secret.
Yeah. When you came here, did you have no expectations?
I have no expectation.
Yeah.
And as soon as I started drinking some of the Arizona wine, I was kind of surprised. I mean, I thought it's going to be like kind of like sweet and really taste of wood most of the time. But surprised me how the quality has been like really nice with the Arizona wines. And actually, some of the wines of Arizona were served in the White House.
Really?
So yeah. So it's kind of like interesting about like that.
So you were saying back in the green room before about the the different areas in Arizona where we're able to grow wine.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona, we have to place ourselves that we are kind of like the same altitude as 5,000 feet between, actually,
Well, it varies, yeah.
Yeah, between 5 and 4,000. That will be most of the wineries are located. So we're looking into that. On the top of that, there are three kind of main valleys that they produce wine here in Arizona. One is located on the north part. It's called Valle Verde or Verde Valley.
Verde Valley.
Verde Valley.
Okay. Yeah.
Sonoita in the south.
Right, right.
And the other one is the Wilcox on the southeast of Arizona.
Okay.
So those are like where you can find most of the winemakers here.
All right.
And the weather is very alike to Mendoza in Argentina. So it's like you need that. I mean, you have the beautiful combination is like hot weather during the day, cooling at night, and that produces a really happy happy grape. You will have a really nice grape of that. That's are the conditions.
So that's not the conditions here in the valley then,
It is
because
one
it
of the
stays
conditions
pretty
here.
hot here.
Yeah, but at night on that areas cool down very
But
much.
I mean here in Phoenix.
No, the valley will be not exactly
not a
cooling down.
great place.
Not a great place. You have to go and have a little altitude just to start growing a little bit more like quality and have that kind of cool surprisingly like Sonoma in California can reach the hundreds Fahrenheit at the day and then cooling down from the Ocean Pacific. So that's kind of the things that you're looking for to start producing a really good wine or start growing wines here. Just looking for the weather, for that conditions.
Right.
On the terroir, what is that the other word that we use to describe what is our terroir? It's a French word for actually to describe.
Please enlighten me because I don't know what you're talking about.
That's actually what it's what the terroir is like the conditions and the weather and the characteristic of the soil that you have of your on the ground. Basically.
Okay.
So that's what is defined by the terroir. So based on that, it's based on the conditions that you have there, you will try to grow a variety.
Now, in Arizona, is Arizona a region, or the regions within Arizona, are they more suited for growing red grapes or white grapes?
Good question. It's kind of an experiment. You might like to have something related to the weather and the conditions. So that will be related, for example, the Syrah from the desert. I mean, for Shiraz, that will be kind of like the grapes that you probably will develop here the best due to the conditions. But you never know. You have to try. It's a very expensive experiment that you have to do. It's try and error. Because sometimes you think, oh, this variety will be doing well. And then it's like, you try it, and nothing. Sometimes we'll be like, oh, I have no expectation about this variety. Let's say like a Petit Syrah. And then, boom, develop really, really nicely. And so as I mentioned, will be different characteristic on the soil, the weather, the conditions, temperature, that is going to be affecting your production. So that is very interesting about like how you're going to do, because you have different stages to get to that final product that is the wine.
How many years does it take till you have a mature vineyard?
We're talking about like at least 10, 20 years, depending.
So that's a big investment.
It's a big investment. It's a big, long investment. It's just, I mean, probably if somebody started back on the 70s, now they're trying doing develop. Yeah, most of the wineries here started back in the modern Arizona winery started on the 73. So that's, I mean, we're talking about 40 years. So in compared with the rest of the world, it's pretty young.
Yeah.
It's what we call young industry or young.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely something that's up and coming. And when we get back from our break here in just a second, I want to talk to you about wine and some of the wine basics, okay? So hang out with us here.
Definitely.
Okay, great. So brew gear. Let's talk about brew gear for just a second. Home and small batch brewers don't need to look any further anymore for locally owned and operated equipment from brewgear.com. They offer a full range of kettles, fermenters, and systems from 5-gallon all the way up to 7-barrel. Brew Gear sells directly to the customer, allowing you to get the highly engineered system of your dreams at an affordable price. Find them on the internet at brewgear.com. All right, we're back now with DrinkinAZ, and this is George Lindblom, and I'm with my guest Felipe Valdivia.
Valdivia, thank you.
I lost my page. I'm sorry,
no
Felipe.
Problem, no problem.
My apologies. So, my wife told me, it's actually my birthday tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I bring that up to say this, that my wife's going to be making me spaghetti and meatballs.
Awesome.
Something that I really like, and so. I don't like to drink beer with spaghetti and meatballs. I prefer wine, but I really don't know a whole heck of a lot about wine.
Well,
so tell me, how would I go about figuring out, maybe at a place like this, like Tops, okay? Mm-hmm. We're here at Tops Liquors, Taste of Tops, and they have over 1,800 wines next door that I could choose from. How would I go about picking out the wine for my dinner?
Oh, that's a beautiful question, because picking a wine is not like an easy task. Sometimes you get overwhelmed with all the varieties, all the things, especially food. I mean, this wine is very related to the food and what are you going to eat. What we have to consider is about what you like, and that's the beauty about the wine. I mean, it's more about what you wanted to have with the dinner. Obviously, there are certain varieties that go good with certain kind of food,
So you want? Should I look at it in relation to what I like in the flavor of the food, and then try to complement that?
In trying to complement that,
because I enjoy the sweetness of the basil and the sweetness of the tomato, the marinara.
The marinara.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I also enjoy the bread and the other things that go with it. So would I look for a wine to complement the sweetness?
Could be.
Or to cut the sweetness, to go against the sweetness?
The idea here is just to what else you're going to eat, because you're not going to eat just the basil. You're not going to eat just the meatball. It's a combination of flavors. Right. You have like introduction wines, for example. You have like, if you're going to start a dinner, like you want to not to give anything, I think a rosé will be a nice kind of starting. Like, for example, just to start talking with your friends, a rosé wine is perfect, or a white wine. Then we have from there, then you're going to find a wine that you wanted to complement with the whole meal course or the main dish. So that will be, if it is a meat, generally you go with red, but it's not like a rule. It's like have to be red. I mean, I've been drinking fish, for example, a nice salmon with a nice kind of like a red wine, but it's a combination. I mean, obviously red wines.
Well, salmon's almost the red meat of the fish world.
Correct.
Too, right?
I mean, and also it's about like the tannins that you have, and the tannins are the flavors that you can find on the on the wine. So reds have a much complex tannins that a white wine. So trying to look for pasta, red's always good complement. Also, you have dessert wines, or what is called sweet wines, if you wanted to finish your meal course with an ice cream.
So what would give me some examples of what would be appropriate with spaghetti, meatball, marinara, garlic bread?
If I go with
I usually
spicy,
go with like in the past I drank Chianti, and that worked for me.
Yeah. A nice Merlot could be nice. A Merlot will be great. I mean, that will be my selection. A Merlot or a Petit
And you mean
Sirop.
Merlot, right?
Yeah, Merlot.
We have the language barrier.
Yeah,
so
it's like the Merlot.
Okay,
The
right.
Merlot, or we can have like a Carmenere. That will be also a good option, just to have like pastas.
A Carmenere?
A Carmenere. That's a variety.
Okay.
We can have The other one that I like is like the San Genovese. If you like Italian food, San Genovese is kind of like a good one. But as I mentioned, it will depends on.
What about like a Pinot Noir?
A Pinot Noir? It's a light. It's kind of like in the light part of the reds, basically. So.
Would stand up to the meat as well, or
no? Could be good. I mean, as I mentioned, will depends on the course that you're going to have. I think that
I'm looking for an all-around wine to have with the whole meal.
With the whole meal.
The whole meal.
Ooh, that's.
I'm telling you, Felipe, I'm having spaghetti and meatballs. Go in that store and get me one bottle of wine.
I will go with the Syrah probably. Syrah or the Carmenere, one of those two. That will be great to go with a meatball salsa kind of things.
Okay.
And I will be like, yeah, that will be something around, and then will depends on the price that you want to pay for that price.
Right.
I mean, that's the other good thing. So because we have a range price,
right.
So depending on that is how much you want to invest on your wine. And even though that you buy a very expensive wine, are you prepared for that wine? You're going to enjoy that wine. So that's one is very important things in how you're evolving with your palate and what kind of flavors are you going to have, because that's a very common mistake. People think, okay, I'm going to buy the most expensive bottle of wine that is there. You taste it, and it's like disgusting. It's like, because you're not appreciating what is there. You know, it's not about the price. Sometimes it's about like what you like to the wine and what is going to be complemented with that. And you have to develop that taste. It's like anything is like most of the people who like to drink beer and trying to develop a different thing and trying to evolve in the tasting, move into wine. So it's kind of the steps that you're going to do around here. It's like from beer, you move into wines generally. So
are you saying that you're on a higher place in the evolution?
No, I'm not. Not a kind of. That's a good. Not at a higher part. It's just more like. It's about like the flavors that you're looking for. It's more like, you know, sometimes you can enjoy a nice beer. I like beers as well, and I like flavors on my beers.
Careful, you're in beer territory.
I know,
so,
yes. And I love it. But as well, it's just sometimes you get tired of some flavors and you move into another in other things. For example, I used to don't like dark beers, porters.
Right.
And look what I'm drinking right now. I have a porter.
Are you drinking the Starry Night?
I'm drinking the Starry Night.
That's what I'm drinking too.
It's really nice.
Good call. Yeah, it's the second one I've had.
And it's one of those things that
It's from a local brewery here, Grand Canyon Brewing up in Williams.
It's beautiful.
Grand Canyon Brewing. Yeah.
It's very beautiful. So that's what it's the same thing with you do with beers and about tasting. You evolve with the flavors on wine. You start with certain things, really basic, and then you move into the complexity of the flavors. You move into wines that are more complex. Generally, new wines or wines from the new part of the world, what is called all South America and Americas, are considered New World wines. So from that point, it's really good to pick a wine from there because they're young, they're fresh, they're like something that you can eat and complement with the food. If you want more complexity on the flavors, you move into more European, what I consider more European or old world wines. Okay. France, Spain, Italy, Germany, some part. They have a tradition and they have this complex wine that sometimes personally is like I don't enjoy. It's too much, and I don't. I mean, I can take a sip or two, but it's a matter of like how prepared are you for those wines. I mean, they can be very complex.
So, like beer, wine can be as simple or as complicated as you want to make it.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. It's very similar. It's very alike.
Excellent.
So.
Okay, well, Felipe, it's been a pleasure having you on tonight.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, and we hope to have you on again. And you can hear a lot of interesting commentary about wine, about spirits, about beer, and everything here on DrinkinAZ.com. And we're going to be back here in just a second after this message. So stay with us. And we are here. Adam Wallace, our technical director. How you doing, Adam?
Hanging in there.
All right, so we're here at Tops Liquors. Tops Liquors is a great place. It's amazing. They're our sponsor, so it's that's not the only reason that this is an amazing place. Let me tell you why. They have over 2,000 wines in stock from all over the world. Felipe and I were just over there checking out the wines, and it's mind-boggling. Over 2,000 spirits, huge selections of rum, tequila, cognac, vodka, scotch. I mean, I'm talking hundreds of each variety. And don't forget the beer. The beer is the king here as far as DrinkinAZ goes. And there's over 1,000 to choose from. In Taste the Tops, this little bar that we're at right here, which is adjacent to Tops Liquors, we have 25 bottles of beer on tap, 25 different varieties of beer on tap, I should say. And currently they're running the Arizona Tap Takeover, and probably I'd say about 18 to 20 of those beers right now are Arizona beers. Unparalleled customer service. They have sales tops that change rapidly, so you got to come in here all the time and see what's going on. They have things up to 50% off. So come into Tops, you won't want to leave. And we're back with DrinkinAZ, and this is George Lindblom, and we are at the point of the show we like to call the Dunk Tank. And Duncan Lee, sales and marketing guru here at DrinkinAZ. How are you doing tonight, Duncan?
I'm good for at least the sales and marketing. The guru's coming.
So. All right. So, Duncan, where'd your beer go? I see you had a beer going there.
Oh,
all right.
It's right over there. I'm drinking a stout.
Duncan is a bit of a neophyte with the beer, the whole beer thing. I think that's safe to say, right?
Definitely
and
safe
so
to say.
Duncan goes over and orders the biggest stout in the whole freaking place, 12% AleSmith Speedway Stout, and he's been. I told him how big it was, and I told him how 2.2 glasses of what I'm drinking would equal what he's drinking, and since then he's been nursing it. But
yes,
yeah. So Duncan, what do you got for us tonight, buddy?
Well, it's really funny since you brought me on to DrinkinAZ, because the experiences that I've had with you, George, it's amazing.
We've laughed, we've cried.
Oh, I've wept many, many tears. And it's, first of all, I just have to thank you for everything I've learned so far, which can fill a thimble. But still, it's just been an amazing time so far. And, of course, with Phil, he has that accent, which, of course, now we have Felipe. So I'm thinking we're going to have tons of blondes, brunettes, just because girls love accents.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think my old man Jewish accent will probably cut the mustard. Hi, George. I love this place even. It's crazy.
Hoi.
Hi. I need some gefilte fish and some stout. What are you going to do? But what I'm finding is I'm learning so much. It's crazy. Things from, I learned about the head, the heart, and the tail. Now, I once dated a girl that had a head, a heart, and a tail, but I think that was probably maybe a abnormal, something abnormal.
Like a tumor?
About her. Yeah.
Growth?
Yeah, some kind of growth, because like
the goiter, the head, the heart, and the goiter.
Like, honey, your tail. She's like, shut up, I know it wags, but that's okay. And yeast cake, because I'm a big guy, and I always thought that cake was good, but I don't think you can just eat yeast cake by itself.
That would give you gas, at the very least.
It would be pretty bad. And just the whole brewing process, it's amazing, because you take water and hops and yeast, and you mash it all together. So from a neophyte standpoint, this has been a really great experience so far, and I'm looking forward to even sounding smarter, if that's possible. I'm not sure.
Well, the more you drink, the smarter you get, in my opinion.
And my wife says the more I drink, the prettier I get. So I'm not really sure. Now, since this whole journey's began, I thought, what can I put in the dunk tank? Because they don't know who I am. The listener doesn't know. They don't know where I've come from and what I've learned so far, but I've already had like the Black Russian Imperial Stout. I've had a Four Peaks Peach Ale. I've had, and then I turned to my Budweiser after, bad word, and I was like, I had half of it. I said, what is this?
Yeah.
And then I learned the whole hops thing and how, wow, they've been saving millions and billions of dollars by using so little hops. So they've convinced me for any, of those ladies out there, I'm really only 21. But no,
right.
In my 43 years of life, they've actually tricked me into thinking that, you have to put a Budweiser in the freezer because it tastes the best.
Right.
But this has been out, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes.
Right.
And it's just as good as when I first got it.
Absolutely. It's got nothing to hide.
It's got nothing to hide.
Yes.
So, unlike myself, but that's for a totally different dunk tank. So, that being that, even the verbiage, I mean, you had said something to me the other day how I was talking about my friends who knew about wine and everything, and he said, oh, so are they sommeliers? And I said, no, they're white. So here I thought that, that meant, were they Samoan or, I really didn't know.
Somalians?
Yeah, Somalians. I wasn't sure, but, it was a good chuckle. So in the future, I've got so many plans because not only can I talk about adventures in beer and, things crazy people do, and just, it'll really, in the future, just a lot of really cool things coming up. I just have to figure them out because I can only hold one thought in my head at a time. So we're going to work on that. So, but it's okay. But
awesome.
Yeah, it's been really, really great. And DrinkinAZ is #1 news source for craft beer in Arizona.
Absolutely. And we've had fun. We Duncan and I have gone out to a couple breweries. I think you've probably toured 3 or 4 breweries in the last 2 weeks.
I know, right?
Yeah. And gone out to check out Coffee Cartel and their new brewery expansion they got going on. And you've been right there in the, a couple weeks ago you didn't know Budweiser from Hole in the Ground. And now you're right there in the heart of the craft brewing renaissance here in Arizona, and here you are.
It's almost like I won the lottery, except I'm still dirt poor.
Yes, so. That we can guarantee you that here at DrinkinAZ. Yes, we'll make all your dreams come true, except for the financial ones.
Definitely.
Yes. So awesome! It's great to have you here. Now, can you swing that mic a little bit and let Adam be on the mic there as well?
Of course.
Let's do this.
All right, Adam. So Adam Wallace is our technical director here at DrinkinAZ, and it's like Jam Master Jay behind the mixing board back there. Get everything figured out tonight, Adam?
I think we did. Took a little bit, but it's a learning curve, and I think we're gonna have some great shows here coming up. Hopefully, this one
excellent.
Makes a mark.
Yeah.
And we start out strong, but I make no promises.
I'll make you some promises. We will have some good shows. Damn it.
All right.
Yes. And we got some great things coming up. The canned. I think it's called In the Can. We got a canned beer festival coming up, and there's American. Thank you so much.
Is that up in Scottsdale?
the American Festival is coming up, and I just started talking to one of the people involved with that today, and we're going to get that going. We've got some contacts down in Tucson. We're going to be talking to Ladies Pint Out organizer down in Tucson, and we're still looking to make connections in Flagstaff and Mojave County, and those things will be happening here soon, but things are really moving here with DrinkinAZ, and we're really excited about the future. So for Phil Spivey, who's traveling abroad right now, and for Duncan Lee.
Traveling abroad?
Yes.
Does his wife know?
Yeah, boom. So for Phil, and for Duncan, and for Adam, and for Felipe, this is George Lindblom with DrinkinAZ saying have a great week, and we'll talk to you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.